Welcome to the Utah Retirement System's Employer Services webinar series. This webinar has been pre-recorded. Please see the description below for links to different sections within the video and other useful information.
Our topic today is understanding adjustments. This webinar will cover the process of correcting errors for prior pay periods on member accounts. Corrections to prior pay periods may include corrections to pensions or to savings plans. These corrections may involve cases where contributions are missing, or they may include cases where contributions have been paid in error. I am hoping the information presented in this webinar will help you better understand the adjustment process. My name is James Hammer. I am the Account Services Manager at URS. I manage the team that handles adjustments to pensions and savings plans accounts. We have a dedicated staff of 5 account analysts who manage your agency's adjustments. Here are the 5 account analysts who make up our adjustments team at URS. You may be familiar with them already. The account analysts make corrections to accounts for past pay periods. Each agency has a dedicated member of this team assigned to them. Jay is our very capable team lead. Valerie, Larry, Amanda, and Virginia are also very capable analysts and are great resources for questions on adjustment calculations, employee eligibility, and reportable compensation. Each one can be reached on our employer hunt line. They can also be reached on their direct extensions. If you have questions on who is assigned to your agency, please contact me and I will let you know. Here are a few account analyst responsibilities. Their main responsibility is to make corrections to member accounts, both pensions and savings plans. This extends to a broad scope of situations. They also analyze the leave notification forms your agency submits to our office when your employees go out on leaves of absence. They analyze these forms to determine if adjustments are needed. Finally, they analyze long-term disability insurance contracts your agency submits for benefit protection contract setup and maintenance. It is important to understand the statute of limitations for corrections to retirement accounts. The statute of limitations for most pension and savings plans corrections is 4 years, which essentially means your agency is generally not required to make corrections to retirement accounts that are beyond 4 years from the point of discovery. The point of discovery is the point in time when the action for claim was discovered, or, more importantly, when it reasonably should have been discovered. There are some exceptions to the 4 years. Savings plans contributions made in error beyond 12 months in the past cannot be removed from a member's account without acknowledgement from the member through a disclaimer we have here at the office. Even then, the amount your agency will get back will be the lesser of the contributions made or the account balance at the time of processing. Additionally, there is a tolling provision associated with the statute of limitations, which means that acts of fraud or misrepresentation can result in mandatory claims going beyond the 4-year statute of limitations period. When a reporting error is identified, our approach is to assume the statute of limitations would be applied. Therefore, we do not independently pursue claims beyond 4 years from the point of discovery. This approach may help both agencies and members. On the one hand, claims against your agency may be limited because this approach requires your employees to be vigilant in catching reporting errors quickly when their benefits are underpaid. Because of the interest charged on missing contributions, the further back the liability goes, the greater the interest due will be, and it adds up fast. We send annual pension statements and quarterly savings plan statements to your eligible employees, and they also have access to information online. On the other hand, claims against employee benefits may be limited because this approach limits what agencies can recoup when contributions are overpaid. Your agency will need to take a position on how you will respond when missing contribution errors beyond 4 years in the past are identified. Will you make payment on these missing contributions or not? We recommend you consult with your legal counsel to establish a policy if you have not done so already. As a result of the statute of limitations, the adjustment process varies depending on whether the corrections are for pay periods within the last 4 years or if they are for periods beyond the last 4 years. Adjustments within the last 4 years must be processed by our office, and agencies are responsible for any amounts due within the last 4 years. If there is a correction needed for pay periods within the last 4 years, please contact your account analyst. We recommend you use our Employee Management Center online to provide payroll documents, employee benefit status, and hourly pay rates. For adjustments due to missing contributions, there is 7.5% interest compounded annually that is charged on the missing contributions. For reversals of contributions reported in error, only the contributions may be refunded. This may be limited further with savings plans if they have lost value in the market. When contributions are refunded, they are always placed in your clearing account for use on a future contribution report or on future amounts due. Once an adjustment for missing contributions is calculated, we typically send an invoice via secured email to your BL or billing contact with our office. If you are uncertain of who this might be, please contact us. If changes need to be made to the contact person, please have your web administrator go online and make the necessary changes. Missing pension contributions are typically identified when your employees come into our office for retirement estimates. When missing pension contributions are identified for pay periods more than 4 years ago, your employee is provided with a form they can complete if they wish to request an adjustment. If they request an adjustment, the form asks your employee to select a course of action in case the employer denies payment. The choice is between paying for the adjustment themselves or not paying for the adjustment. Your employee will then approach your agency with a second form, and your agency completes this form. The second form will ask your agency to choose between paying for the adjustment or not paying for the adjustment. A binding authority needs to sign this form. Whichever choice is made, the form needs to be returned to our office once it is completed. If your agency chooses to pay, an adjustment is calculated and an invoice is sent to your agency's billing contact for payment. If your agency decides not to pay and your employee elects to make payment, an adjustment is calculated and an invoice is sent to your employee for payment. Your employee then has 60 days to complete payment. If payment is not completed within 60 days, the adjustment case is closed and your employee loses his or her ability to make payment under the adjustment rates. Any future request to make payment must be made through a service purchase, which typically requires a much greater payment than an adjustment would require. If your agency and your employee both choose not to pay, the backup documentation is kept on file and your employee loses his or her ability to make payment under the adjustment rates. You can see here the two forms that I referenced. The request for adjustment is the form your employees will complete. The certification of Utah service to be adjusted is the form your employees may bring to your agency for completion. Keep in mind that our office will not interfere in your agency's decision to pay or not to pay for an adjustment that is beyond 4 years from the point of discovery. The adjustment calculation only includes contributions required under Title 49. If there are additional savings plans contributions that are needed, your agency may make payment for these contributions. However, our office will not require payment from your agency. Additionally, keep in mind that our office will not calculate adjustments when the missing contributions are less than $25. This threshold also applies to reversals of overpaid contributions. We have this threshold in place for efficiency purposes, so our staff stays focused on the adjustments that make the most impact. As our business systems evolve over time, we may remove this threshold, but it is there for now. Here are a couple of helpful tips when paying for an adjustment. At this time, we can only accept checks for adjustment payments. Please make certain to include a copy of the invoice with your check. Additionally, please respond in a timely manner to our invoices. We typically allow 30 days for payment on a first invoice. Each subsequent invoice will include an update on the interest due. If payment is not made after 3 attempts, the matter will be escalated to management for collection. Here is the contact information for myself and for each of our account analysts. Please contact us if you need assistance. Thank you for joining me today.